Hi, everybody. This is Dave Blair. I know I haven't talked to you guys in a while, so in case you didn't know, Forza Motorsport 7 is now on Game Pass for free. If you have Game Pass, you can download and play the game for free. So I'm in the yellow Porsche here. This was a A-class multiplayer hopper that I jumped into, and this is the A class that has the race regulations on this server, which means if you cut the course, you get a time penalty. If you have a collision, it will assess who's at fault and give a time penalty. So these are the race regulations that Turn 10 is trying to roll out to create better lobbies for everybody to race in. The reason I bring this up and talking about it, because this has been on Game Pass for a little while now. Today is Sunday, October 25th of 2020, and the new consoles will be coming out November 10th. The Xbox Series X and S. And I wanted to talk about Game Pass in particular. Also, I want to say how disappointed I am that there is no new Forza Motorsport launching with the consoles. I mean, I am just so disappointed, I cannot even tell you. But if you go back to the summer, I understand the COVID thing, but they do these Forza monthlies, they call them. And they talked about everybody playing on the new Xbox Series X and playing Forza, all the people at Turn 10 there, and how they were playing the game. So I don't understand. It seemed like the game was going to be ready and it was going to launch with the console, but I really think that Microsoft or Turn 10 had a change of mind with the direction that they wanted this new Forza Motorsport to go. Now, I made a bunch of predictions, and I predicted that they wouldn't be calling it Forza Motorsport 8, which I was right on that one. The other thing, I think that they're really going to try and tackle the esport thing. And I'm not sure how they're going to monetize it. They'll probably release it into Game Pass. Or if you do want to participate, it might be a monthly fee. I don't know how they're going to do it, but it's supposed to be like a games as a service thing going forward. Anyway, just totally disappointed in what they decided to do. But anyway, this is a replay of just a general hopper that I jumped in. Again, it has the Forza race regulations in it, and you can see how close I'm running with this guy. And while there was some rubbing in this race, I thought it was really, really good. It's not your typical Forza where everyone just ends up in a big pile at the end of the first corner. I don't know. I think that the regulations are working. Now, the other thing I wanted to touch on before I get into the Game Pass thing is the whole console war. Just real quickly. So, I'm not talking about, PlayStation or Xbox. What I'm talking about is there's a lot of people that are like, oh, well, that's a console game and I'm a PC gamer, or, vice versa. I prefer to play on the console. I don't like PC. And I have to tell you, I am finding PC to be a little challenging, especially when I switch from VR, or I have a new monitor now. I have a 1440p, 120 frames per second monitor. So, that takes a little tweaking. It's like not only you have to go in, I go into my NVIDIA graphics card settings, and you can find like what's the best settings for your monitor as far as NVIDIA goes. You change those settings. Then there's Windows settings on top of it. Then there's, your monitor settings that you have to go in and tweak a little bit. And it's not easy. And, I think consoles, well, obviously they're made for kids, okay? A console is easy. You hook it up to your TV. Maybe you go into your console settings and you're done. Maybe you go into your TV settings, you set it to game mode and you're done, or HDR game mode and you're done. But again, the level of settings and tweaking and things that I have to do on the PC are just really cumbersome at some point. And every time you switch gear, which I do, again, I'm trying to upgrade my VR next. I'm still waiting for the HP Reverb G2 to come in. I pre-ordered it, so waiting on that. But that'll be a change. Something else I'll have to tweak along the way. But anyway, every year you have more kids turning 5 years old that are going to want a console. And those are the ones that are going to play, consoles, and they're going to play a ton of different games. And that's who Game Pass is for. This is what I'm trying to get at. So Microsoft is really pushing this Game Pass thing. Okay, so like I was saying, Microsoft is really pushing this Game Pass thing. And while I do have Game Pass, so this is a race that I'm in. I just hopped in a lobby, and this is again the Forza race regulation lobby, but this is an onboard instead of a replay. So just wanted to cover that. So getting back to Game Pass now. Game Pass, I do have Game Pass, and I pay $15 a month for it, but I mainly do it because my son is 19 years old. And him and his friends, they play a lot of different games. Now, while he is moving more towards PC gaming, I'm getting hit from behind here. But you can see there where it says no penalty. Anyway, and I'm trying to run this at 120 frames per second. But this is going back to what I was saying before. I didn't have my settings really dialed in for 120 frames per second, so I went in and had to make some more changes after this race. But anyway, I was hitting almost 120 frames per second. So like I was saying about Game Pass, now it's for kids because they jump from game to game to game, and they want to play whatever their friends are playing. If their friends are playing PUBG, they want to play PUBG. If they're playing Fortnite, they want to play Fortnite. I think you guys understand this. Now, as far as I am concerned, while I am taking a break from the multiple series that I've been running, I'm just running the NASCAR series with the SimPick crew on Friday nights. Everything else I'm pretty much taking a break from. But, if you followed any of my other stuff, I'm involved in a lot of different series. But since we have holidays coming up and everything, I decided this would be a good time to take a break. And I was kind of getting burnt out and wanted a little break anyway. But going back to what I was saying, if it wasn't for my son, I would not have Game Pass. Now, while I have jumped in and played a few games that I wouldn't normally have played, it's really not worth it. I mean, I pay $15 a month for it, and I could buy, a game that I wanted to play for $15 off a Steam sale. And I would, most of the games that I buy, I play long term. Like even this Forza Motorsport 7, when it came out, I played this game almost straight for a good 2 years. It wasn't until I started getting into iRacing that I kind of left this one behind. But yeah, so I know what I like to play, and I like to play racing games. I like to play racing sim games, and they take a lot of time, and that's really what I'm enjoying playing. I bring up Red Dead Redemption 2. While I had a great time with Red Dead Redemption 1, and I was really looking forward to Red Dead Redemption 2, but I never did finish it. That's another thing that I wanted to talk about. Like being a gold member, so the $15 not only includes my Game Pass for PC and Xbox, it also covers my gold subscription service, which used to be $10 a month. But, they give me, 4 games a month just for being a gold member, sometimes 5. And then also I have Game Pass, so I have access to all those games. And I guess what I'm getting at is I'm the type of person that likes to buy a game and completely play through the game And people don't really do that much anymore, especially kids. They hop from one game to another, and I mean, I know there is no ending to Fortnite. You can just continuously play that, or even the Call of Duty online multiplayer, you can get in there and continuously play that. But that's kind of the way I'm with iRacing. I like to get in there and get involved in different series, and that's what I like to play. Now, it does cost me every time I have to buy a new car or track, but I really haven't had to buy anything lately, so that's nice. But I was spending quite a bit on iRacing when I first started, but that's done. So going back to Game Pass, I really feel like all the games that they give me and all the access to all the games, it devalues the game. So like there's Batman Arkham Knight, is another game that I want to play, and it's sitting in my library. I could play it at any time I want. Same thing with Dishonored, another game I'm interested in. I could play that one anytime I want. And it's just like, access to movies. I don't know if you guys have ever gone on Netflix or Amazon Prime or any of the video watching services, and you spend your evening scrolling through what movie do I want to watch, because they're all free. They don't have as much value as if you went and rented it. Back when you used to rent movies, you only had a certain amount of time to watch it, and you had to return it. So, it just seemed more valuable, I guess is what I'm saying. And it's the same thing with video games. I would watch reviews, I would do my research, I would know it was a game that I really wanted, and then I would go out and buy the game, and I'd play through the game, and I would enjoy it because I spent the time to research the game and purchase the game, and it had value. But with I'll see, I got to cut track for going wide there. So this is kind of what the race regulations will do. They just add time penalties, and if the person in front of you has more penalties, then you'll pick up that position. But that's kind of how it works. But anyway, they kind of devalue games because I have so many games sitting in my library, and I don't even play them. Okay, so I came in 7th in the last race, and then I did another one here. I think I end up coming in 4th on this one. It was a pretty good race too. I got my Mazda RX-7 in this one. Yeah, I think I've covered everything I wanted to cover. Again, if you're going into Game Pass, just make sure you know what you're getting into, because a lot of times they'll start you out with like $1 for the first month or first 3 months or something like that. But as time goes by, I felt like I was playing less and less games, so it's not really worth it to me. Now, if you have kids or multiple people on your account, that's a good thing. You'll probably get your money's worth. But I don't feel like I'm getting my money's worth out of Game Pass. So, if you're single or you're the only gamer in the house, it might not be worth it to you, because again, you just end up with so many games, and they just not worth it. Unless you crank through the games, if that's the case, then it would be worth it. So you're gonna have to weigh that out for yourself. Anyway, I'll leave this last race. Oh yeah, I didn't realize damage was on too. I went into that wall. And the other thing, like, I'm drifting right here, and in iRacing there's no way you're gonna catch this drift. So I do like that about Forza, that you can drift these cars pretty easily. But anyway, I will leave you with this this race if you want to continue to watch it, but I think I'm done talking. Yeah, don't judge me too harshly. I do come in 4th though, so 4th out of 14 is not bad. But I do clean up my driving a little bit. And in my defense, I haven't raced in Forza in quite a while. This is, I'm just really rusty at it. But anyway, I felt like I did all right. All right, you can sit back and relax and enjoy the rest, or you can turn it off now, and I'll talk to you all later. Thanks for listening.